Everybody knew by Monday morning. By noon they'd added things that weren't true. One bad choice became my whole story before I even knew what I was gonna do. I won't defend what I did that night. Wrong stays wrong when the daylight comes, but I ain't handing one broken hour the keys to every year that follows one. I did it, I own it, but I ain't on it. One bad day ain't my name. One wrong turn ain't my whole damn way. I can carry what I did without becoming what they say. Let them remember, I remember too, but tomorrow still belongs to what I choose to do. I won't hide from the blame, but one bad day ain't my name. For a while I thought shame was payment, like hating myself would make things right. But regret that never changes you. It's just another place to hide. So I started small where nobody clapped, did what I said, took what came back. Didn't ask the world to clear my past, just stopped giving it new reasons to last. One bad day ain't my name. One wrong turn ain't my whole damn way. I can carry what I did without becoming what they say. Let them remember, I remember too, but tomorrow still belongs to what I choose to do. I won't hide from the blame, but one bad day ain't my name. Accountability ain't living with your head permanently down. A sentence ain't repentance just because you wear a frown on it. Repair what you can, accept what won't return, then become somebody wiser than the fool who had to learn. I don't need my past erased, need my future lived straight. Yeah, that's enough work for one man's plate. I won't run and I won't stay the same. I can look that night in the eye without letting it on my life. Some folks may never change their view, that's theirs. I got work to do, I know the man who caused that pain. And every day I'm putting distance between us again. One bad day ain't my name. There's a story I used to tell, where I was always the good guy. The story ain't true. Saw an old classmate a few weeks back, almost didn't recognize his face. Then I remembered exactly who he was and exactly how I made him feel in that place. I used to make the whole room laugh with him standing there alone. Called it joking, called it being young. Funny how cruel it gets softer names when you're the one doing it. He remembered, so did I. Only difference, he had to live it. I was the cruel one, truth I owe. I can't blame being young for something I already knew was wrong. I made myself bigger by making somebody small. There ain't much courage in admitting it now. The silence would be worse than all. I was the cruel one, and I'm sorry. I walked over over before I lost my nerve. Said his name, he looked surprised. I told him I thought about what I did back then more times than you'd probably realize. Didn't ask him to forgive me, didn't say I was hurting too. Some apologies get ruined when the guilty man starts explaining what made him do what he chose to do. He listened and said, yeah, that messed me up for a while. That sentence landed where it should. I was the cruel one, that's the truth I owe. I can't blame being young for something I already knew was wrong. I made myself bigger by making somebody small. There ain't much courage in admitting it now. The silence would be worse than all. I was the cruel one, and I'm sorry. You can grow up, become decent, raise good kids, treat people right, and still owe something to the version of yourself who didn't. Being better now doesn't rewrite then. That's not shame, that's memory doing this job. So if somebody carries damage with your fingerprints on it, don't ask why they remember. Ask what truth you still owe. Yeah, I was a cruel one. He didn't say, it's alright, good. It wasn't. He just nodded once and said, I'm glad you finally know. Maybe that's all. An apology gets to be the truth arriving late without demanding anything in return. I was the cruel one, now I know better, so I better live better. He shook my hand, not forgiveness, maybe just peace, that was enough. Don't call him lazy just because he moves slow. You don't know what it cost him just to show. Used to be first one through every morning, last one willing to sit down. Could carry twice what anybody asked, and never make a sound. Then something happened and nobody could see. No cash, no bandage, nothing obvious underneath. Now he stops halfway through a simple thing, breathes till the shaking leaves. And some young fool says he just don't wanna work. I know better, I've seen the way this sentence makes him bleed. Don't call him lazy because his body changed. Don't measure somebody's worth by how much hurt they can contain. Some men fight battles that never leave a mark. You know, if he's still showing up, well, showing up hurts. Don't call him lazy just because he moves slow. He hates asking anybody to lift what he once could lift alone. Apologizes every time he says like pain is something that he owns. I finally told him, man, you don't know what suffering you did enough, proven years ago. He looked down hard like kindness was somehow the hardest thing to hold. That's when I understood what pride can do to decent men. Make them punish themselves for not being who they've always been. Don't call him lazy because his body changed. measure somebody's worth by how much hurt they can contain. Some men fight battles that never leave a mark. You know, if he's still showing up when showing up hurts, don't call him lazy just because he moves. Yeah. We praise a man for pushing till he breaks, then look at him different when the breaking finally stays. That's backwards. Strength ain't only output, worth ain't pounds per hour. Hurting man, still a whole man when his body loses power. So give him room, give him dignity. Ask what helps, don't make somebody destroy what's left of himself just to prove he ain't asking for help. He ain't weak, he's adapting. There's a difference. Don't call him lazy, you don't know his fight. You wanna see the slower steps, not what it takes to make him right. He gave his best years without asking anybody to know. Now the least that we can give him is some dignity while he grows into a different kind of strong. So don't call him lazy just because he moves slow. Next morning, I carried the heavy end. Didn't mention it, neither did he. Say it while he's here. Dad never talked much about loving anybody. He'd show it some other way. Fix what was broken, come when you call, stand there when there wasn't much to say. I learned his language well enough to know what every quiet thing meant. But lately his hands shake more than they used to, and time feels different when I look at them. There are words I don't want saving for later. Say it while he's here, don't wait for a room full of flowers. Don't find the right words when he can't hear a sound. Tell him what he gave you, tell him what you finally understand. A man shouldn't learn how much he mattered from the silence after he's gone. Say it while he's here. We sat together last Sunday evening. I almost let the moment pass. We talked about nothing important, weather, work, how fast the years move past. And I said, Dad, I know you weren't perfect, neither am I, and that ain't the point. You taught me more by staying than 1,000 speeches ever could. He stared down for a second, cleared his throat and looked away. He said, well, I tried. That's all, that was enough. Say while he's here, don't wait for a room full of flowers. Don't find the right words when he can't hear a sound. Tell him what he gave you, tell him what you finally understand. A man shouldn't learn how much he mattered from the silence after he's gone. Say it while he's here. We save tenderness like it's something scarce, like saying I love you. Take something from a man. And death comes around, and suddenly everybody finds language. I don't want mine arriving late. So I'll say it while you're here, while your eyes can still meet mine. You gave me things I didn't understand until I had some years behind. You made mistakes, so did I. It's never been the whole of a man. I love you. There, I said it while I still can. He nodded once and said, love you too, son. When everything works, everybody thinks they're standing alone. When something breaks, power went down and the phones went dead. Whole week turned sideways before daylight left. Nobody cared what another man earned, who had a bigger name or whose turn got burned. One man had water, one had a light, one had enough food to get us through the night. People I'd barely spoken to before were carrying what somebody else couldn't anymore. Funny how fast all the walls get small when life reminds you nobody gets out alone. Nobody carries it all on their own. When your strength runs thin, somebody else's begins. You can build your walls, you can guard your throne, but sooner or later every man learns nobody gets out alone. Saw an old man trying to move too much. Three younger hands showed up without being asked. Saw two folks who hadn't spoken in years standing side by side when somebody needed them there. No speeches, no cameras around, just ordinary people holding ordinary ground. That's when I understood what being strong could mean. Not standing above, standing between. Yeah. Nobody gets out alone. Nobody carries it all on their own. When your strength runs thin, somebody else's begins. You can build your walls, you can guard your throne, but sooner or later every man learns nobody gets out. I used to think independence meant never needing a hand. Handle your business, carry your weight, never let somebody see you can't. But I watched strong people fall, watch strangers answer calls, and I learned there's no weakness in needing somebody at all. Today I lift you, tomorrow you lift me. That's not deck, that's how people survive when life collects. One hand can't hold everything. Good thing there's more than one of us. Nobody gets out alone. Nobody alone. Nobody carries this life on their own. When my strength runs thin, I know where yours begins. No matter how proud, how tough we've grown, the hardest years teach the simplest truth. Nobody gets out alone. Back, we all went home, but after that, none of us felt quite so alone. Years I blamed the timing, blame the people, blame the breaks. Had a reason for each promise I was too afraid to make. Kept changing what's surrounding me, thinking change would change my skin. But every time the noise went quiet, there I was again. Turns out distance can't outrun the truth. I finally met what I couldn't outrun. Every word I never owned, every wrong I left undone. No more facing what I couldn't outrun. I thought freedom ain't no questions, no one asking where I've been. Thought leaving purse was safer than letting anybody in. But a man can cross 1,000 miles and never move an inch. If every time the truth gets close, he finds another place to live. I finally met what I couldn't outrun. Every word I never owned, every wrong I left undone. No more blaming where I've been for who I choose to become. The hardest road I ever took was facing what I could outrun. No judge came looking, no crowd called my name. Nobody forced me to stand inside the blame. Just woke one morning tired of defending yesterday, tired of making everybody else the reason I behaved that way. So I call what was mine, call fear what it was. And for once I stopped asking what somebody else had done. What I couldn't outrun didn't kill me when I owned it, didn't end me when it came. Turns out truth can hurt like hell, and still leave room to change. The hardest thing I ever be was the man I used to run from. I started running, and there I was. We missed a number by a country mile. Whole crew standing there waiting on mine. Boss came down asking who dropped the ball, and I knew exactly what he wanted called. Could've named a new kid, could've blamed the night crew, could've found a dozen ways to make the numbers look true. But I gave the order, I made the call. If somebody's taking their way, that starts where the decision started. Leadership gets real when something goes wrong. My name goes first when the blame comes down. If I take the credit, I take the hard part too. Don't put my people underneath me just to keep my own hands clean. If I let them into trouble, then the trouble starts with me. My name goes first, that's what the title means. Yeah. Boss leaned back and said, you know this could cost you. I said, yeah, that's why I'm standing here. A man don't earn respect by taking every victory, then disappearing when consequences appear. Crew didn't say much afterward, didn't need to. Next morning everybody showed up early, so did I. That told me more than any speech ever could. My name goes first when the blame comes down. If I take the credit, I take the hard part too. Don't put my people underneath me just to keep my own hands clean. If I let them into trouble, then the trouble starts with me. My name goes first, that's what title means. I worked underneath men who loved authority but hated responsibility. First to say my crew when the numbers look good, first to say their mistake when somebody asked who should But I promised myself if I ever got that chair, I'd remember rank, think, protection, rank means you answer before they do. So when it goes right, give them their credit. When it goes wrong, step forward, that's leadership. Everything else is decoration. My name goes first, write it at the top. Whatever consequences coming, don't let it roll downhill in style. On somebody who followed the direction I gave. A title ain't worth having if you use it just to save your face. My name goes first, and if that costs a chair, so be it. I kept the job more important. I kept the crew's respect. Y'all came just after midnight, didn't know the name, didn't need to. One voice said somebody was trapped and gave us what little they knew. I put on what I had to pull on, didn't feel brave, mostly felt awake. Funny thing about emergencies, there ain't much time to decide what kind of man you'll be. We drove out quiet, nobody making speeches, everybody just checking what needed checking. Somebody had to go, that's all it was. Somebody had to answer when another life called. I wasn't chasing glory, wasn't trying to be known. There was somebody needing help, so somebody had to go. Yeah. We got there before fear had finished, doing what fear does to a crowd. One man yelling directions, three people saying different things too loud. Training takes over when your mind wants to run ahead. You don't think about being fearless, you think what keeps everybody living for the next 10 seconds, then 10 more, then 10, until finally everybody who went in comes back out again. Somebody had to go, that's all it was. Somebody had to answer when another life called. I wasn't chasing glory, wasn't trying to be known. There was somebody needing help, so somebody had to go. People think this afterward, I never know what to do with that, because they see the end and they don't see what follows you back. Don't see a grown man sitting quiet 20 minutes before he goes inside. Don't see somebody's hand still shaking after everybody says you did alright. Some calls leave, some stay, that's part of it too. Heroes a word people use from somewhere safe. I don't know about heroes, I know training, I know showing up. I know the man beside me checking my gear because he wants me getting back to. I know fear comes with you, courage ain't leaving fear at home. It's hearing somebody needs help and going anyway. But here's the part nobody puts in the newspaper. The ones who answer calls need somebody checking on them too. Somebody had to go, that night it was us. No medals needed, no legend to become. Just people doing what people do when another person can't make it along. And when the next call comes, if I'm able, I'll go. Not because I'm fearless, not because I'm special, because somebody has to. Next morning, nobody knew my name. It's fine, the person we went for was still breathing. That's enough. mama moves a little slower now. She doesn't mention it, I do. She still reaches for the heavy things like age forgot who is dealing with. Still says I got it before anybody can help. Same woman who spent half her life putting everybody before herself. Lately when we walk together, I match whatever pace she takes, and never tell her why she'd hate that. She carried me first, so I don't call this sacrifice. I just slow my steps beside her when the years don't treat her kind. She made room for all my growing before I knew what love was worth. Now if she needs somebody near, she carried me first. She gets frustrated when she can't remember something she would've known before, then laughs it off and changes subjects like I didn't see what that moment cost. I don't correct her unless she asks. Don't make a weakness feel like proof. There's still a whole strong woman there. The years just change what strength can do. She carried me first, so I don't call this sacrifice. I just slow my steps beside her when the years don't treat her kind. She made room for all my growing before I knew what love was worth. Now if she needs somebody near, she carried me first. This ain't paying her back, love don't work that way. There's no number for the night she gave, no balance due, no debt complete, just life turning us around until I'm standing where she stood for me. And if she hates needing help, I'll make it feel less like hell. She carried me first before I knew enough to know. Now when the world gets harder on her, I won't let her face it alone. She never counted what she gave me, I won't count what I give her. I'll just stay close for however many years we give. She carried me first. I'm fine, she says. I smile. I know, mama, I'm coming anyway. Before it takes one, that machine had been talking wrong all week. Everybody heard it, nobody stopped. Production was behind 3 days and management wanted numbers caught. Ray said that bearing ain't right. Foreman said it'll make the shift. That's the kind of sentence that sounds harmless till somebody don't make it. I looked at Ray, he looked at me. Both of us knew what fear was asking. Keep quiet, keep working, don't be the difficult man. Then I picture somebody's wife getting a call because we wanted one more hour. Shut it down before it takes one. Let the numbers fall, let the whole line stop. The deadline ain't worth somebody not coming home. Call me trouble, call me wrong, I'll take every word if everybody walks out when the shift is done. Shut it down before it takes one. Foreman got hot when I hit the stop. Said, you know what this delay would cost? I said, yeah. Do you know what the other one cost? Room was still, Ray looked down. Nobody wanted to be first to stand beside me. Then Maria hit the station stop. The lead and Tom, one by one, the whole damn floor went quiet. Funny how courage gets louder when one person gives it somewhere to start. Shut it down before it takes one. Let the numbers fall if the whole line stop. A deadline ain't worth somebody not coming home. Hey, call us trouble, call us wrong, we'll take every word. If everybody walks out when the shift is done, shut it down before it takes one. They found a crack 2 hours later. Engineers said another full cycle might have sent. Nobody celebrated, that's the part people miss. Being right about danger don't feel like winning. It feels like realizing how close everybody came to having a different life by dinner. Safety ain't cowardice, it ain't laziness, it ain't a man afraid to work. Sometimes the hardest worker in the room is the one willing to say, this ain't worth somebody getting hurt. Next morning, the line came back. New part, same crew, every chair filled. We shut it down before it took one. Lost half a day, kept every name. Let somebody somewhere complain about the numbers we didn't make. There are things a company can't replace. There are things it can't. So if I hear that warning again, I'll stop the whole damn line with my own 2 hands. Shut it down before it takes one. Yeah. Production recovered by Friday. Everybody went home Thursday. That's the number I remember. Didn't learn this pain. I learned young how a hard man hides, how he swallows hurt and calls it pride, how every sorry gets buried deep till somebody smaller loses sleep. I wore that lesson longer than I knew, till I heard my father's voice come through. Then my boy looked up when I raised mine, and something in me crossed the line. I can't change what shaped my name, but I can choose what ends today. My son won't learn this pain from me. He won't call it closed heart. Being free, he'll know strength can tell the truth. Can bend the steel, come stand through. I may carry what I cannot change, but my son won't learn this pain. I'm learning anger ain't always strong, and silence can teach a child all wrong. So when I'm wrong, I say it plain, before my pride becomes his chain. I won't teach him love should stay cold, or tears of weakness men should hold. If I leave one better thing behind, let it be a softer kind of spine. My son won't learn this pain from me. He won't call it closed heart. Being free, he'll know strength can tell the truth. Can bend the steel, come stand through. I may carry what I cannot change, my son won't learn this pain. Blood ain't a sentence carved in stone. Hurt don't deserve another home. I can stop one word before it cuts. I can stay when fear says give it up. I can show him strength ain't shame, and mercy don't make a man. Let's pray. Oh, my son won't learn this pain from me. He'll know love ain't losing dignity. He'll know a man can own his wrong and still be strong enough to carry on It ends with me. It ends with me. Yeah. Yeah. He came around when I was 9. Never tried to take another man's title. Didn't ask me what to call him. Just showed up steady when life got hard. Taught me things without announcing that he was teaching anything at all. How to own the mess you make, how to answer when somebody calls. For years I kept a little distance, like loving him might cross some line. Funny what a boy can misunderstand until he's looking back with grown man eyes. The older I get, the clearer one thing becomes. He never had my blood, but he gave me his time. Never gave me his name, but he helped me carry mine. When the world got heavy, he was already there. Turns out being a father ain't decided by what blood you share. He never had my blood, but that man raised me. He sat through every bad decision without making my mistakes his own. Let me learn what I had to learn, but never made me learn alone. First time I caught him dead, I didn't plan a word at all. It slipped out in conversation, he got quiet, looked away, that told me everything. He never had my blood, but he gave me his time. Never gave me his name, but he helped me carry mine. When the world got heavy, he was already there. Turns out being a father ain't decided by what blood you share. He never had my blood, but that man raised me. Blood can tell you where you started, they can't tell you who stayed. Can't count the night somebody gave you, can't measure love by DNA. A father can be biology, a father can also be the man who had every right to leave and kept choosing not to. Year after year, no applause, no obligation, just love with work clothes on it. Carry what it taught. Every time I keep my word, every time I do the hard or right thing first. If someday somebody asks me what kind of man I hope to be, I'll tell them about the one who didn't have to raise me. He never had my blood, didn't matter, he was my dad. Took me years to say it, I wish I'd said it sooner. Nobody has to be the villain for something good to end. We tried longer than neither of us admits. Change the words, change the rules, change the shape of it. Nobody cheated, nobody disappeared. We just stopped reaching the same way somewhere through the years. It's harder to explain than somebody doing somebody wrong. There ain't much comfort when blame don't belong. Nobody has to be the villain, nobody has to take the fall. Sometimes two good people just can't keep being good together at all. I don't need to hate you to know this has to end. Nobody has to be the Can't stay what it's been. I can tell my friends a colder version. You can tell yours something worse about me. We can turn every tired conversation into evidence for why we should leave. But that wouldn't honor what was real when it was real. You gave me years I won't call wasted, just because the ending hurts to feel. Nobody has to be the villain. Nobody has to take the fall. Sometimes two good people just can't keep being good together at all. I don't need to hate you to know this has to end. Nobody has to be the villain. Sometimes love just can't stay. Whoa, there's no betrayal, no secret life, no broken glass, no winner tonight. Just two people tired of trying to force a future that keeps asking for somebody to lose themselves more. Maybe maturity is letting something die without poisoning every memory. Just to make goodbye easier to justify. I loved you, that's true, I'm leaving. That's true too. Both things can live in the same sentence. Nobody has to be the villain. Now I'm gonna make you one for me. We can close the door with kindness and still admit we lost the key. I hope you find your peace. I hope I find mine too. Nobody has to be the villain just because forever didn't make it through. No enemy, no victory, just goodbye. She makes more than me. She came smiling with that letter, said, baby, they moved me up today. I hugged her first and something ugly whispered underneath my praise. Wasn't the fault, wasn't what she said, just some old idea inside my head, that somehow being the man in mind should always be the bigger number at the end. I hated that thought soon as I heard it. Love showed me something my pride didn't want to see. Yeah, she makes more than me. Good, she earned every dollar they put beside her name. Her rising up don't bring me down. Her winning ain't my shame. I don't need a bigger check to know the man I wanna be. She's doing damn good, and she makes more than me. My father grew up in another time. He carried everything he could. Never heard him say a woman's success might make a man's life good. But times change, people should too. A strong woman never made me weak. If anything, watching what she built made me look harder at the best that's left in me. So when somebody joke, yeah, she's the boss now, I smile, said she always had my respect. Yeah, she makes more than me. Good, she earned every dollar they put beside her name. Her rising up don't bring me down. Her winning ain't my shame. I don't need a bigger check to know the man I wanna be. She's doing damn good, she makes more than me. Yeah, Mary Jane, the scoreboard ain't a column against mine. Ain't who brought more home on Friday night. It's two people building, two people growing. Sometimes one carries more, sometimes roles turn around and teach you what partnership was for. If her dream gets bigger, I'm not standing in front of it, I'm standing beside it. That's where I belong. She makes more than me, and I say it proud, because I saw the night she kept working when nobody noticed how. I saw the doubt, I saw the grind, I know exactly what it took. So put a name where she earned it, let the whole damn world look. I don't lose anything when the woman I love succeeds. Yeah, she makes more than me. She asked, "You really okay with this?" I said, "Baby, I'm proud of you." Put the names on the door. 36 years with my name out front, but that sign never told the whole truth. There were 4 other men who opened every morning and stayed when the hard years came through. I signed a paper show where Ray knew every machine by sound. Lewis kept the place alive one winter when I was too sick to come around. Marlon trained half the crew. Joe knew every customer by name. Funny how ownership looks simple when one man's name gets all the fame. I built some of it, they built plenty too. Put the names on the door, mine's been there long enough. If they carried this place through the lean years, they earned more than a thank you and a handshake. I don't wanna sell it to somebody who only sees a number. Let the people who built this floor on what they built it for. Put the names on the door. Lawyer said I could get more money if I sold to the chain downtown. They keep the logo maybe 6 months, then cut half the crew and nobody was looking around. I looked at men who given me decades, thought about every family depending on what happened next. A retirement account gets spent, a good decision can keep feeding people after you're gone. Put the names on the door, mine's been there long enough. If they carried this place through the lean years, they earned more than a thank you and a handshake. I don't wanna sell it to somebody who only sees a number. Let the people who built this floor on what they built it for. Put the names on the bill. We could talk legacy like it's a picture on a wall. I don't care if anybody remembers me at all. Keep the jobs, keep the standards, keep treating people fair. Keep the place alive when my old chair ain't there. That's enough. And if they change some things, good. A business ain't a tune. It ought to keep breathing after the founder leaves the room. Right beside each other, I signed my part away and never felt richer. They gave me half their lives, now the future's theirs. Let the next young worker walk through knowing somebody who starts at the bottom might someday own a share. Put the names on the door. First Monday after I retired, I drove past, didn't go in. Saw 5 names on that sign. Smile, kept going. job ain't the man, the paycheck ain't the soul. They can take the chair I sat in, they can't take what I know. If tomorrow don't need my hands, I still know where I stand. A man can lose his living, the job ain't the man. 22 years in one short meeting, 3 clean sentences, then I was leaving. They called it numbers, called it change, like giving it a softer name, took out the pain. I said a while without saying much, hands at work suddenly felt like too much. Didn't know who I was by 5 that day without somebody needing what I knew how to make. That's when I learned what work can give, and what it never on the job ain't the man, the paycheck ain't the soul. They can take the chair I sat in, they can't take what I know. If tomorrow don't need my hands, I still know where I stand. A man can lose his living, the job ain't the man. First week hurt worse than I let on. Kept working early with nowhere to belong. Thought being useful was the same as worth. Till my wife said you were you before the work. That line said heavy, then said it right. Made a little room in a long hard night. Maybe what I built ain't only what I made. Maybe it's how I showed up every day. I know men who retire and lose their name, men who get fired and swallow the shame, because nobody told us there's a line between what feeds your house and what makes you mean something. I worked hard, I'm proud I did, but I ain't a number on somebody's list. You can close my locker, you can clear my desk, you ain't taking everything I haven't built yet. Not who I am. Tomorrow morning, I'm still getting up. Everybody leaves something. Question is what stays after the name gets quiet. I used to think a man was measured by everything he could collect. How many people knew his number? How many people showed respect? Then I watched a rich man leave behind a room full of things and nobody close. That's when I started asking myself, what a lifetime's really supposed to hold. I wanna leave more than a name, more than a line somebody says. Leave a little courage in somebody, a little mercy they don't forget. If all I leave is what I own, then I didn't leave enough. I wanna leave more than a name, I wanna leave somebody stronger from my love. Maybe it's the kid I didn't laugh at when everybody else joined in. Maybe it's the friend I stayed beside when being loyal couldn't help me win. Maybe nobody tells that story, maybe none of it gets written down. But the best parts of a man's whole life ain't always the parts that make a sound. I wanna leave more than a name, more than a line somebody says. Leave a little courage in somebody, a little mercy they don't forget. If all I leave is what I own, then I didn't leave enough. I wanna leave more than a name, I wanna leave somebody stronger from my life. I ain't talking statues, ain't talking praise, ain't talking everybody remembering my face. I'm talking one person choosing truth, cause I showed them what a promise could do. One angry man laying anger down, one scared kid knowing somebody stayed around. That's legacy, quiet and deep, something alive after you sleep. Take the money, take the applause, time gets every trophy a man ever bought. But kindness travels farther than pride, and what you give away can't outlive your life. So let me leave more than a name, can't tell. Don't remember everything I did. Just carry something good I gave you. You said every time it gets real, you disappear. I had 12 good reasons, none I wanted you to hear. So I stayed there with the truth instead. Let the easy exit leave my head. I've always known how to walk away, never learned what courage asks you to stay. Maybe strong is staying when your first thought says run. Maybe love gets honest when the easy part is done. I can't promise perfect, I can promise I won't fade. Maybe strength ain't leaving, maybe strength is what you stay and face. You never asked me to become someone new. Just stop making distance do what words should do. So I told you where the fear began, how losing people taught me not to plan. You didn't fix me, didn't turn away. You just listened while the armor fell away. And for the first time I understood, being known don't make a man less good. Maybe strong is staying when your first thought says run. Maybe love gets honest when the easy part is done. I can't promise perfect, I can promise I won't fade. Maybe strength ain't leaving, maybe strength is what you stay and fade. I'm caught, distance, peace of mind. Called every wall a boundary line. Called disappearing, being free when half the time it was fearing me. If I'm asking you to trust my name, I gotta stand aside the harder days. No grand speech, no saving face, just tell the truth and hold my place. Maybe strong is staying and leaving would be clean. Maybe love ain't weakness, maybe love is being seen. Yeah, strong can mean staying when your first thought says run. Strong can mean forgiving before the damage gets done. I can't promise easy, but I can promise I won't fade. For the first time in my life, I'm strong enough to stay. This time, I'll stay. Teaching better than they taught you. That's how hard things change. Yeah. New kid showed up nervous Monday. Hands too clean and boots too new. Couldn't read the room, couldn't hold a rhythm. Didn't know half of what he thought he knew. Hold me would've made him earn the same rough way they did with me. Let him fail just long enough so everybody else could laugh and see. Then I remember being 19, getting caught stupid for what nobody showed. Pain can teach a lesson, but pain ain't always the best way to know. Teach 'em better than they taught you. You don't make a man by making shame, show him how to do it right, make him own his own mistakes. You can keep the grip without handing down the hate. Teach him better than they taught you. That's how hard things change. So I showed him once, made him do it twice. Third time, let him figure out the rest. When he missed something, I didn't call him useless, just said slow down, do it again. A month went by, his shoulders changed, started moving like he knew his place. Confidence ain't something you beat into somebody. Sometimes you build it without making noise. Teach him better than they taught you. You don't make a man by making him ashamed. Show him how to do it right, make him own his own mistakes. You can keep the grip without handing down the hate. Teach him better than they taught you. That's how hard things. I respect the men who train me. Some were hard because life was hard on them, but there's a difference between the men of good work and needing somebody smaller. So you can feel big again. I can keep the standards, keep the discipline, keep do it right or do it over. Lose the humiliation, lose the part that never made any of us better. That's not getting soft, that's learning. With another new kid, showing him something I showed him before. Kid messed up, he didn't laugh, just leaned over and said, here, try it this way. I turned around smiling, didn't need him to see. Teach him better than they taught you, then maybe he'll teach somebody better too. Keep the pride in honest work, keep the things worth passing through. But every generation gets to leave some hurt behind. Teach him better. That's how good men change a life. Yeah. He didn't repeat me, he improved on me. Good. Good. Still tell her the news. It's been 11 months, people quit asking how I'm doing around month 3. Maybe they thought the answer changed, maybe they just didn't know what else to say to me. Most days I manage, some days I even laugh without feeling guilty afterward. But something good happened Tuesday, and the first thing I thought was I gotta tell her. Funny what love keeps doing. After somebody's gone, I still tell her the news. The good stuff, the bad stuff too. Still hear the answer she would've given before I know what I'm gonna do. I know she ain't coming through that door. Because somebody leaves, so sometimes I still tell her the news. Our oldest car was something worth celebrating. I smiled the whole time, hung up, then cried. Not because the moment wasn't beautiful, because she would've loved it too. Grief's strange like that, it doesn't only show up when something hurts. Sometimes joy opens the same old place, because there's one person missing from knowing what it's worth. I still tell her the news, the good stuff, the bad stuff too. Still hear the answer she would've given before I know what I'm gonna do. I know she ain't coming through that door. I know what goodbye means, but love don't turn into nothing just because somebody leaves. So sometimes I still tell her the news. For a while I thought healing meant talking to her less, putting everything away, learning how to act. Like 27 years could fit inside the past. And somebody told me, moving forward ain't the same as moving on from love that helped. I don't have to lose her twice just to prove I'm still alive. I can miss her and still make plans, cry and still laugh, remember, and still keep going, both things fit. Yeah, I still tell her the news, but lately there's more life in the things I tell her too. I met some friends last Friday, stayed longer than I thought I would. And for the first time, coming home alone didn't make the whole night bad. I think she'd like that. I think she'd say, keep going, so I will. And when something worth telling happens, I still tell her the news. Had a pretty good day today. Pause. Thought you wanna know. I won't inherit your. Yeah, I knew his last name before I knew his face. Daddy taught it to me with a certain kind of hate. Said the people did our people wrong. A man remembers where he belongs. So I carried anger I never earned, memorized a fire I never watched burn. Two families feeding the same old flame, giving little boys somebody else's blame. Then I finally met the man one day. He looked tired, not dangerous, just tired the same way. That's when an old story started sounding old. I won't inherit your war. I don't know what I'm hating him for. I won't spend my whole life settling somebody else's score. I can honor where I come from without carrying every wound. What happened before me, don't have to decide what I do. Keep the history, tell it true, but I won't inherit yours. He knew my name the same damn way. Said his father had plenty to say. We stood there laughing at the strangest thing. Both raised to hate before either knew anything. Neither one apologized for men long gone. Neither one pretended no harm was done. We just agreed the dead had taken enough and didn't need two living men keeping it up. I won't inherit your war. I don't know what I'm hating him for. I won't spend my whole life settling somebody else's score. I can honor where I come from without carrying every wound. What happened before me, don't have to decide what I do. Keep the history, tell the truth, but I won't inherit yours. Some families pass land, some pass names, some pass anger and call it the same. Teach a child a villain before he learns his own mind, and act surprised when hate survives another lifetime. I respect my father, I love that man, but loving somebody don't mean repeating every stain. I can carry his good, leave his bitterness behind. That's not betrayal, that's using my own mind. History ain't honored by creation. rhyme. I watched another man take blame for something that belonged to my name. I kept my mouth shut, let it pass. Told myself the truth wouldn't change the past. Years went by, but wrong stays young. Keep showing up when the day is done. You can hide a fact from everyone, but hiding ain't the same as being gone. Some days don't want money. Some days want your voice. I had 100 reasons not to speak. The life I built, people counting on me. But a clean reputation built on a lie ain't clean just because it survives. So I found the man I left alone, looked him straight in on my own. Didn't ask him to forgive that day, just finally gave the truth its name. I owe the truth more than I owe my pride, more than the story I've been using to survive. Let it cost me, let it hurt, a man still responsible. Nobody knows what he's worth. I can't undo what I let loose, but I can finally pay what I owe the truth. What I owe the truth. Yeah. Truth ain't brave when there's nothing left to lose. It gets expensive when you still get to choose. When telling them I change your name, change who stays, change who walks away, that's when honesty becomes more than something good men say. I waited too long, that's mine too. But late ain't never the same as never telling truth. I owe the truth more than I owe my pride, more than keeping the old version of me alive. Let it cost me, let it burn. Some lessons only become yours when you finally take your turn. I can't undo what I put him through, but tonight I'm paying what I owe the truth. He didn't forgive me, I told him anyway. I learned at 42. I learned how to work before I learned how to hide what I couldn't read. Got good at watching other people so nobody noticed what I couldn't see. If a form came across the counter, I say forgot my glasses today. If somebody handed me instructions, I'd wait till they looked away. 30 years of getting by can make a secret feel like skin. Then my grandson brought me a story and said, Grandpa, read this one again. I couldn't, that was the day I got tired of pretending. I learned at 42 that late ain't the same as never. Pride kept me hiding longer than learning never would've. I spent half my life believing some doors had closed for good. Turns out a grown man could start again, same as any young man could. I learned at 42, and I ain't ashamed. First night in that little classroom, I almost turned around outside, saw me younger than my oldest boy, and felt 30 years of pride. Teacher never made me smaller, just pushed the page across the desk. Said start with what you know, nobody had ever made not knowing sound that simple yet. So I sounded every word out slow, felt foolish till I didn't. Funny how courage sometimes looks like staying in a chair when you would rather disappear. I learned at 42 that late ain't the same as never. Pride kept me hiding longer than learning never would've. I spent half my life believing some doors ain't closed for good. Turns out a grown man can start again, same as any young man could. I learned at 42, and I ain't ashamed anymore. I built things straight, raised 2 kids, paid what I owed, kept food where it belonged. I wasn't stupid, I was scared, there's a difference. I should've learned long ago. Shame makes a cage without needing a lock. You carry the key and still swear you're stuck. Then one day you say help me, and nothing terrible happens. There's freedom too. Still stumble once in a while, but that little boy don't think less of me. Last week he climbed beside my chair, put one finger underneath each word, said, Grandpa, you're getting good. Best thing I ever heard. I learned at 42. Wish I started sooner, but I started tonight. The whole story. He fell asleep before I finished. I won't lie for you tonight. My brother called before daylight. Boy sounded smaller than his age. Said I need you to tell them I was with you yesterday. Long pause, then I understood why he hadn't asked how I was. Blood'll make a man do plenty, but it shouldn't make him forget what right was. I love you enough not to make this easy wrong. I won't lie for you, but I won't leave you either. I'll stand beside you when the consequences come. You're my brother, that's forever, but forever don't make wrong right. I'll walk through every hard day with you, but I won't lie for you tonight. Yeah, he got angry like I knew he would. Said family's supposed to have your back. I said having your back ain't helping you become a man who keeps running from the facts. I can make the drive, I can sit through the waiting, I can answer every call you make. But if I turn you wrong into my life, we both walk out worse that day. I won't lie for you, but I won't leave you either. I'll stand beside you when the consequences come. You're my brother, last forever, but forever don't make wrong right. I'll walk through every hard day with you, but I won't lie for you. loyalty that says cover everything, hide every mistake, protect the family name. I've seen what that becomes. One lie needs two need four. Pretty soon everybody's protecting something nobody even recognizes anymore. Real loyalty says tell it straight, take the hit, fix what you can. I'll still be here when you're done with it. That's harder, that's love. He didn't speak for a while and said, will you still come with me? I said, yeah. I won't lie for you, I don't need to. You can face what you did without losing everybody who love you. Oh, you're my brother, nothing changes that, but love should make a man more honest. Now teach him how to hide, so tell him what happened. I'll be right beside you, I just won't lie. He told the truth, I stayed. Funny thing about a full room, you don't know who's with you till it empties. There was a year everybody called, everybody knew where I would be. Every weekend somebody had a reason why they needed something out of me. I mistook attention for affection, thought a crowd meant I was doing fine. Then the work dried up, the phone got quiet, and half those numbers disappeared with mine. One friend kept calling every Tuesday, never asked what I could do for him. Just said you eating, you sleeping, like losing didn't change what friendship meant. When the noise went quiet, I heard who stayed. Not the loudest voices from the better days. No big promises, no borrowed praise. Just one true friend who never changed his face. I thought I knew loyalty when the room was full. I learned it when the noise went quiet. Yeah. You know me before anybody cared, before my name could open anything. Knew the version with the cheap mistakes, knew the fool underneath the shine. I told him once, man, I got nothing now. He left and said you never owe me much. That sentence hit me harder than applause. Some people value you beyond what you produce. When the noise went quiet, I heard who stayed. Not the loudest voices from the better days. No big promises, no borrowed praise. Just one true friend who never changed his face. I thought I knew loyalty when the room was full. I learned it when the noise went quiet. Things are moving again. Funny how some old numbers return. Been thinking about you, brother. Yeah, funny what success helps people remember. I ain't bitter, ain't keeping score. Just learn who gets through the inner door. You can know 1,000 names and still have 3 friends. I'll take 3 true ones every time again. The crowd loved the season, he knew the man. When the noise went quiet, one voice stayed. Didn't need the good times to remember my name. No spotlight, no advantage gain. Just somebody standing there when there was nothing to take. If fortune fills a room again, I know who gets a chair beside me. I found my richest friendship when the noise went quiet.